In a quiet town where the afternoons felt like slow, warm breaths of the earth, there stood an old school with peeling blue paint. Inside was a classroom ruled not by strictness, but by the warmth of a teacher named Mr. Hanif, a man whose smile could untangle the tightest knots in a child's heart. One morning, as sunlight filtered through dusty glass, the students' chatter echoed like bouncing marbles. Suddenly, a clatter made them all look. Hanif's pencil had rolled off his desk and snapped in two. Instead of sighing, he picked up both pieces, held them high, and said, "Even broken, it still writes beautifully." He then wrote his name across the board with one half, the strokes glowing with meaning. The students looked at each other, confused, sensing this wasn't just about a pencil. Among them was a quiet boy named Ayan. He sat near the window, often lost in thought, his mind buzzing with unasked questions and unshared dreams. He believed he was born for something beautiful, but wasn't sure what that looked like, especially because things in his life seemed to fall apart just as quickly as that pencil. For weeks, Ayan had been carrying a secret that made his shoulders slump. He had failed a math exam and hidden it from his family, fearing their disappointment. The red marks on the paper felt like cracks blooming across his fragile sense of self. To make it worse, his friends had laughed not cruelly, but in that careless way children do. So, he had started shrinking into himself, speaking less, avoiding even his own reflection. But now, watching that broken pencil scratch confidently across the board, he felt a soft knock on a door he didn't know was closed. He sat up straighter as Mr. Hanif addressed the class. Sometimes we believe that we are no longer whole, no longer perfect, that we must be useless. But look closely. What makes this pencil valuable is not its length or its smoothness. What makes it valuable is that even broken, it can still create something meaningful. The classroom was silent. Then, the most energetic student, Sana, raised her hand. "Sir, does that mean mistakes are okay?" Mr. Hanif chuckled. "Mistakes are not just okay, they are evidence that you are trying, learning, growing. No person who ever did anything important did it without breaking something along the way. What matters is what they do afterward." After class, Ayan stayed behind. He walked quietly to Mr. Hanif's desk and whispered, "Sir, the pencil, it really doesn't matter that it broke." His teacher looked up, sensing there was more to the question. "Ayan, come sit." They sat together in the soft afternoon glow. "What's really troubling you, Mr. Hanif asked gently. Ayan's fingers twisted the strap of his bag. After a long pause, his voice shaky, he said, "I failed my math test, and I think maybe I'm not good anymore, not worth anything." The silence that followed wasn't heavy, it was careful Dahmer. Hanif picked up the broken pencil again. "Do you think this pencil becomes worthless just because it fell? Because someone might say it's not perfect?" Ayan shook his head. "Then why?" The teacher continued softly, "Do you believe something untrue about yourself that you refuse to believe about a simple pencil?" The words struck Ayan like sunlight breaking through fog. "But sir," he trembled, "what if I never become perfect?" "No one becomes perfect," Mr. Hanif replied. "Not even me. Perfection is not the goal. Becoming better bit by bit. Riding through your mistakes, that is what makes your life meaningful." With a small smile, he placed one half of the pencil in Ayan's hand. "Keep this. Whenever you feel broken, hold it. Remember that you can still write. You still have a story left inside you." Ayan clutched the pencil like a lifeline. Life didn't magically transform after that. The next few days were still hard, but now, every time he opened his notebook, he placed the broken pencil beside the page, a small guardian. He told himself, if the pencil can write, so can I, and so he tried, not to be perfect, but to be better. He stayed after school for extra help. He asked questions even when his voice shook, and slowly, piece by piece, he began to heal not by erasing the mistakes, but by building something stronger over them. 2 weeks later, the school held its Creative Expression Day. Ayan didn't want to participate. He felt he had nothing worthwhile to say, but Mr. Hanif approached him. "Would you write something? Not for marks, not for competition, just to express the way you see the world." Ayan hesitated, then looked at the broken pencil piece beside him. He picked up his pen and began to write. He wrote about a pencil that broke yet continued writing, and a boy who felt broken yet continued living. He wrote about how both discovered their worth didn't disappear when their perfection did. His story was raw and honest. When he submitted it, he felt nervous, exposed, but the judges loved it. His story won first place. When his name was announced, the applause felt unreal. But then he saw Mr. Hannah smiling proudly from the back of the hall, and suddenly the applause sounded clear, warm, and real. It was 1,000 tiny affirmations. You still write. You still matter. That night, Ayan held the broken pencil piece. He whispered to himself, I'm not perfect, but I'm not worthless. The next exam season, he studied not out of fear, but out of determination. He didn't just pass. He scored one of the highest marks in the class. When his classmates congratulated him, he simply smiled and said, I just kept writing. Years passed. Ayan grew older, wiser, and taller. He kept the pencil in a small box of memories. Every time he faced failure in life, a rejected application, a lost opportunity, a painful heartbreak, he would take it out and hold it. Even broken, I can still write beautifully. He grew up to become a writer. His books helped people heal because they carried a truth born from a classroom, a mistake, and a teacher who believed brokenness is not an ending, but a beginning. And in every novel he published, on the dedication page, he wrote the same line, for the broken ones who don't know yet that they can still create something extraordinary. He knew. He had lived it. He had written through it. He had learned the most important truth of all. Mistakes don't end your worth. Broken things can still become beautiful. And even the smallest pencil, even the smallest person can leave a mark on the world that no one else can. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please share it with someone who might need to hear it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content that inspires and uplifts. See you next time.